Commander Jack Stone stood at the window of Earth Defense Station Alpha, watching the massive alien ships hover above Earth like dark storm clouds. His fingers drummed nervously against the cold metal windowsill as he waited for the upcoming meeting with the Highborn Empire's leadership. In his quarters behind him, his 4-month-old German Shepherd puppy, Max, played with a squeaky toy, completely unaware of the tension in the air. The invasion fleet had appeared 3 days ago, positioning themselves in a perfect formation that showed off their superior technology. Their ships were beautiful in a terrifying way, like polished black diamonds catching the sun's light. Earth's own defense fleet looked like toys in comparison. Commander Stone, his computer buzzed. The Highborn delegation is ready for the meeting. Please proceed to Conference Room 1. Stone straightened his uniform and checked his reflection in the window. Be good, Max, he said to the puppy, who was now chewing on his shoelaces. I'll be back soon. The walk to the conference room felt longer than usual. 2 armed guards fell in step beside him, their faces showing the same worry everyone on the station shared. Humanity had dreamed of first contact for centuries, but not like this. Not with an empire that had already conquered 3 solar systems. The conference room doors slid open with a soft hiss. Inside, 3 Highborn representatives stood around the large oval table. They were tall, nearly 7 feet, with gray-blue skin that seemed to shimmer under the lights. Their high-collared uniforms bore medals and symbols that Stone couldn't begin to understand. Commander Stone, the tallest alien, spoke, his translator converting the clicks and whistles into English. I am Admiral Gray of the Highborn Empire. We are here to discuss the terms of Earth's surrender. Stone kept his face neutral, though his heart raced. With all due respect, Admiral, Earth has no intention of surrendering. Admiral Gray's large, purple eyes blinked slowly. You misunderstand, Commander. This is not a negotiation. We have studied your species and your level of technology. You cannot hope to resist. Perhaps you should study harder, Stone replied, trying to sound confident despite the fear in his gut. The alien leader pulled out a small device, projecting a hologram of Earth's defense capabilities. Your weapons are primitive. Your ships are slow. Your defense is air. A high-pitched bark interrupted the Admiral's speech. All heads turned toward the door where Max, Stone's puppy, had somehow managed to squeeze through when a junior officer entered the room. The puppy's tail wagged happily as he trotted across the floor, heading straight for the aliens. The reaction was instant and completely unexpected. All 3 Highborn representatives jumped back, their shimmering skin turning a pale white. Admiral Gray knocked over his chair in his haste to put distance between himself and Max, who thought this was a wonderful new game. You keep one as a pet. Admiral Gray's translator crackled with what sounded like fear. A beast of terror. Stone watched in confusion as the mighty alien leaders pressed themselves against the far wall. Max sat down, tilted his head, and let out a small woof. The Highborn's second-in-command pulled out a device, scanning Max. Admiral, according to our database, this is a juvenile Canis lupus familiaris, descended from one of Terra's most efficient pack hunters. They can run for hours, track prey across vast distances, and their bite force. And the humans have domesticated them. Admiral Gray's voice held a mix of horror and awe. Commander Stone, are we to understand that you personally control this beast? Stone looked down at Max, who had flopped onto his back, hoping for belly rubs. A crazy idea began to form in his mind. Oh yes, he said carefully, watching their reactions. In fact, most human households maintain at least one. Some have multiple beasts. We raise them from pups, train them in various arts. The Highborn delegation huddled together, speaking quickly in their native language. Max, growing bored with the lack of attention, started chasing his own tail. We must consult with our superiors, Admiral Gray announced suddenly. This meeting is adjourned. We will contact you within 1 planetary rotation. The aliens made their way to the door, never turning their backs on Max, who was now chewing on his own foot. As they left, Stone heard one of them say, "If they can tame and control such creatures, perhaps we have underestimated." The door closed, leaving Stone alone with Max and his bewildered security team. He looked down at his puppy, who gazed back with innocent brown eyes. "Good boy, Max," he said, finally understanding their advantage. "Very good boy." Aboard the highborn flagship, Admiral Gray paced back and forth in the command center. The holographic displays around him showed various images and videos of Earth's beasts in action. Each new piece of information made his skin shimmer with a deeper shade of worried gray. "Play the footage again," he ordered, his translator making the nervous clicks in his voice sound almost musical. The main screen lit up with a series of videos: a pack of wolves bringing down a moose in the snow, police dogs chasing down criminals, military K-9 units scaling walls and navigating obstacle courses, search and rescue dogs finding survivors in collapsed buildings. "And they keep these creatures in their homes?" one of his science officers asked, her skin also showing patches of distress coloring. "Not just in their homes," another officer added, pulling up more footage. "Look at this." The screen filled with images from Earth's social media. Humans sleeping with their dogs, taking them to restaurants, dressing them in clothes, and celebrating their birthdays. To the highborn, who had never developed close relationships with other species, these scenes were both fascinating and terrifying. Meanwhile, back on Earth Defense Station Alpha, Commander Stone was having an interesting morning. Word of the previous day's meeting had spread quickly, and now Earth's military leadership wanted to know exactly what had happened. "Let me get this straight," General Wilson said through the video call, trying not to smile. "They think our dogs are some kind of super weapons." Stone nodded, watching Max roll around on the floor with his favorite rope toy. "They seemed particularly frightened when I mentioned that most humans keep at least one. Their database apparently has lots of information about wolves and working dogs, but they've completely misunderstood our relationship with them." The general's face turned thoughtful. "This could be useful. Very useful indeed." He typed something on his computer. "I'm sending you some new orders, Commander. Play along with their misconception. Let's see how far we can take this." Just then, Stone's computer beeped with an incoming transmission from the highborn fleet. Admiral Gray's face appeared on the screen, looking even more worried than before. "Commander Stone," the alien leader began, "we have been analyzing your beast-keeping practices. Our data shows that you begin training them from an extremely young age." An image appeared showing a small child teaching a puppy to sit. Stone fought to keep a straight face. "Yes, we begin their training very early. It creates a stronger bond between handler and beast." The alien's skin rippled with amazement. "And you let your young ones participate in this training? Are they not afraid?" At that exact moment, Max bounded over to Stone's desk, putting his front paws up and licking the commander's face. The alien leader made a sound that his translator couldn't quite handle. "Fear," Stone said calmly, scratching behind Max's ears. "No, our young ones are essential to the training process. They have a natural gift for it." Admiral Gray's eyes widened even further. "Most impressive. And disturbing." He paused, seeming to gather his courage. "We have also discovered your beast training facilities." Stone was confused for a moment until a new image appeared, a dog park on a sunny afternoon. "Ah yes," he said, suddenly understanding. "Our outdoor training grounds. Very important for maintaining their skills." The alien leader's skin had turned almost white. "And these facilities are everywhere. In every settlement." "Of course. How else would we keep them in peak condition?" There was a long pause as Admiral Gray consulted with someone off-screen. When he turned back, his voice was less steady than before. "We must reconsider our approach to this situation, Commander. Our initial assessment of Earth's defensive capabilities may have been incomplete. We will contact you again once we have developed appropriate countermeasures against your beast program." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving Stone alone with Max, who was now sleeping peacefully on his feet. "Well, boy," he said quietly, reaching down to pet his puppy, "you might just help us save the world by being exactly who you are." In orbit, the highborn fleet began to pull back to a more cautious distance, their sensors constantly scanning Earth for any sign of massed beast movements. They had come expecting an easy conquest, but now they weren't so sure. Any species that could turn apex predators into loyal companions was clearly not to be underestimated. The highborn war room buzzed with nervous energy as Admiral Gray reviewed their new defense plans. The massive chamber's walls displayed hundreds of images and videos of Earth's beasts in action. Each screen told a different story, and none of them made the alien leaders feel any better about their situation. "Show me the new footage our spy drones captured," Admiral Gray ordered, his skin shifting to a deeper shade of blue with concentration. The central hologram sprang to life, showing a suburban park. What the aliens saw made them step back in collective horror. A human female was commanding not one, but 6 different beasts simultaneously, all connected to her by thin leashes. "A multi-beast combat unit," one of the military analysts whispered, "and she controls them single-handedly." "It gets worse," another officer added, changing the display. "Look at these training facilities." The image shifted to show a doggy daycare center. Dozens of dogs played together in the fenced yard, chasing balls and wrestling playfully. To the highborn, it looked like an elite training camp for Earth's most fearsome weapons. "By the ancient stars," Admiral Gray muttered, "they're training them to work together in packs." Meanwhile, on Earth Defense Station Alpha, Commander Stone was having an unexpected problem. Ever since word had gotten out about the aliens' fear of dogs, station personnel had started bringing their pets to work. The station's corridors now echoed with the sound of paws and happy barks. "Sir," his assistant called from the doorway, trying not to laugh, "the highborn are requesting another video conference. And, well, you might want to see this first." She handed him a tablet showing intercepted communications from the alien fleet. The highborn had been monitoring Earth's social media feeds, trying to gather intelligence on their beast program. What they found had sent them into a panic. Stone scrolled through their analysis reports. Humans teaching their beasts to play dead equals advanced stealth training. Fetch games equals combat retrieval exercises. Tug of war equals strength conditioning. Rolling over for belly rubs equals complex submission and dominance rituals. "Commander," General Wilson's voice came through his computer. "Are you seeing these reports?" Stone nodded, watching Max chase his tail in the corner of his office. "Yes, sir. They've completely misinterpreted everything. Should we correct their misconception?" "Absolutely not," the general replied with a grin. "In fact, I want you to lean into it. We're implementing Operation Good Boy." The plan was simple but brilliant. Every dog owner on Earth would be encouraged to post more videos of their daily activities with their pets. Dog shows would be broadcast worldwide. Pet adoption drives would be heavily publicized. Later that day, Stone faced Admiral Gray's image on his screen. The alien leader looked more unsettled than ever. "We have observed your people conducting mass beast deployment exercises," Gray said, showing footage of a popular dog park on a Saturday afternoon. "Ah, yes," Stone replied calmly, while Max played with a squeaky toy under his desk. "Regular training is essential. And these facilities where you store multiple beasts." The screen showed a local animal shelter. "Our beast reserves," Stone said solemnly. "Every city maintains several." The alien's skin turned almost white when a new video appeared, a puppy training class where small children were teaching basic commands. You start training your young ones to control the beasts when they are still small." "Of course," Stone answered. "They grow up together. It strengthens the bond." Admiral Gray made a series of clicks that his translator couldn't process. "Most impressive and disturbing. We must revise our invasion plans yet again. The risk of facing an entire planet of beast masters is—" He paused, skin shimmering with anxiety. "Significant." After the call ended, Stone picked up Max and held him close. "You hear that, boy? You and your friends are saving Earth just by being yourselves." The puppy responded by licking his face and trying to chew on his uniform buttons. In orbit, the highborn fleet continued to watch and worry. Their sensors recorded thousands of humans walking their dogs, playing in parks, and sharing their homes with what the aliens believed to be living weapons. To them, Earth had begun to look less like an easy target and more like a planet of incredibly brave, or possibly insane, warriors who had somehow tamed an entire species of predators. One thing was becoming clear to the highborn. This invasion might be more complicated than they had anticipated. Operation Good Boy was working better than anyone on Earth could have hoped. The highborn fleet had retreated to the dark side of the moon, their ships clustered together like nervous sheep. Every new video of humans interacting with dogs seemed to push them further into paranoia. Commander Stone sat in the Earth Defense Station's main conference room, watching the latest intelligence reports with General Wilson and other military leaders. On the big screen, they could see the highborn's intercepted analysis of a viral video, showing a golden retriever playing in the snow. "Look at this," General Wilson said, barely containing his laughter. "They think the dog rolling in snow is practicing Arctic warfare camouflage techniques." Stone nodded, scratching Max behind the ears. The German Shepherd puppy had grown quite a bit in the past few weeks and was now able to reach the conference table with his nose. "What about their analysis of the agility competition footage?" Another officer pulled up the report. "They believe it's an advanced obstacle course for training beast units in urban combat. The tunnels, jumps, and weave poles are all classified as tactical movement training apparatus." The room erupted in laughter when they saw the highborn's interpretation of a dog getting the zoomies after a bath. According to their analysis, it was a high-speed evasive maneuver training exercise. "But here's the best part," Stone's assistant added, bringing up a new file. "They've been monitoring pet supply stores. Look at their conclusions." The alien report classified pet stores as beast armories, with detailed analyses of various items. Tennis balls equals projectile training devices. Squeaky toys equals sonic warfare tools. Dog beds equals beast recovery stations. Treat bags equals combat ration dispensers. Leashes equals beast restraint technology. "They're terrifying themselves," General Wilson observed, "and we haven't had to fire a single shot." Just then, Admiral Gray requested an emergency video conference. When his image appeared on screen, his skin was cycling through various shades of gray and blue, a sign of extreme agitation in his species. "Commander Stone," the alien leader began, his translator struggling to keep up with his rapid speech, "we have discovered something most disturbing." "Oh." Stone kept his face carefully neutral. The screen split to show footage from multiple dog parks across the globe. "Your species has established beast training grounds in every major population center. The scale of your program is unprecedented. We believe in maintaining constant readiness," Stone replied solemnly, while Max tried to catch his own tail behind him. "And this." The Admiral showed a clip of a pet adoption event in a local park. "Mass distribution of war beasts to civilian populations. Every citizen has the right to maintain a beast unit," Stone said, managing somehow to keep a straight face. "It's part of our planetary defense strategy." The alien leader's skin turned almost white. "Your entire species, every household. You've turned your whole planet into a warrior culture based around these creatures." "We prefer to think of it as a partnership," Stone answered diplomatically. Behind him, Max had found his favorite rope toy and was now trying to get anyone, to play tug-of-war. "Most impressive and terrifying." Admiral Gray paused, his large eyes blinking rapidly. "We have noted that you also maintain smaller versions of these beasts." The screen showed a chihuahua barking at a much larger dog. "Ah yes," Stone improvised quickly. "Our stealth units." That did it. The alien leader's skin went completely white. "Stealth units. You mean some of these creatures are designed for covert operations? I've already said too much, Stone replied mysteriously. After the transmission ended, the room was silent for a moment before everyone burst out laughing. Max, excited by all the noise, started barking happily and running in circles. "Sir," one of the junior officers said, wiping tears from his eyes, "the highborn fleet is moving again. They're retreating to beyond Mars orbit." Stone picked up Max's rope toy and finally gave in to the puppy's request for a game of tug-of-war. "Good boy," he said to both his dog and the clever humans who had turned this misunderstanding into humanity's greatest defense. "Very good boy." In space, the highborn fleet continued their retreat, their sensors constantly scanning for any sign of Earth's stealth units. The image of tiny war beasts secretly infiltrating their ships would keep their crews awake for many cycles to come. The Central City Dog Park had never seen such an unusual gathering. On one side stood Commander Stone with Max, now 6 months old and full of energy, along with General Wilson and their military escort. On the other side, Admiral Gray and his highborn delegation huddled together nervously, their skin shifting through various shades of gray and blue. "Are you certain this location is secure?" Admiral Gray asked, his eyes darting between the dozens of dogs playing in the park. "There are so many beast units active." "This is a standard training ground," Stone explained calmly. "We thought it would help you understand our capabilities better." Just then, a golden retriever ran past chasing a frisbee, and the entire alien delegation jumped backward. Their security team raised their defensive shields, causing several nearby dogs to bark excitedly at the strange lights. "Fascinating," one of the alien scientists muttered, recording everything with a small device. "They respond instantly to unusual stimuli. Truly remarkable combat reflexes." A young girl, maybe 7 years old, approached the group with her tiny corgi puppy waddling beside her. The aliens froze completely, their skin turning almost transparent with fear. "Would you like to pet Muffin?" she asked innocently, looking up at the tall aliens. "She's really friendly." Admiral Gray made a sound that his translator couldn't process. "The young one. She controls a beast unit, and its designation is Muffin." "Of course," Stone said, fighting to keep his face straight. "We start training our young early, and each beast unit has a unique designation." The girl's corgi flopped onto its back, stubby legs waving in the air, asking for belly rubs. The alien delegation watched in horror and fascination as the child demonstrated her control over the beast unit with a simple belly scratch. "Incredible," the alien scientist whispered. "The young ones possess such natural command over these creatures." The situation grew even more intense when a local dog trainer arrived with her group of 6 border collies, all practicing their agility training. The aliens watched, absolutely terrified, as the dogs weaved through poles, jumped over hurdles, and navigated tunnels with perfect precision. "A full combat demonstration," Admiral Gray said weakly. "Most impressive." Stone nodded solemnly. "Just basic training exercises. Nothing special." The final straw came when the dog park's sprinkler system suddenly turned on. Dozens of dogs began running through the water, barking and playing. To the aliens, it looked like chaos unleashed. "They're conducting aquatic warfare drills," one of the highborn officers shouted, in plain sight. Max, excited by all the activity, broke away from Stone and ran straight toward the alien delegation, carrying his favorite tennis ball. Admiral Gray let out what could only be described as a squeak of terror. "Don't worry," Stone called out, trying not to laugh. "He just wants you to throw his tactical training device." The tennis ball rolled to a stop at Admiral Gray's feet. Max sat down, tail wagging, looking up at the alien with expectant eyes. The entire park seemed to hold its breath. With trembling hands, Admiral Gray picked up the ball. Max's tail wagged faster. "Just throw it?" the alien leader asked nervously. Stone nodded. Standard training exercise. Admiral Gray drew back his arm and threw the ball. Max bounded after it joyfully, brought it back, and dropped it again at the alien's feet, barking happily. He wants me to do it again. That's how we maintain the training bond, Stone explained, watching as the mighty alien leader became engaged in a game of fetch with his German Shepherd puppy. By the end of the meeting, Admiral Gray had thrown the ball 17 times, each throw becoming a little more confident. The other aliens had even started to relax slightly, though they still jumped whenever a dog barked. As the alien delegation prepared to leave, the little girl with the corgi walked past again. "Bye-bye, funny blue people," she called out cheerfully. Muffin says goodbye too. The entire highborn security team activated their personal shields again, just in case Muffin was preparing for some kind of surprise attack. Stone watched them hurry away, then knelt down to pet Max. "You might just have done more for diplomatic relations than all our official meetings combined, boy." Max just wagged his tail, wondering if anyone else wanted to throw his ball. 3 days after the dog park incident, Admiral Gray returned to Earth Defense Station Alpha for what was supposed to be a routine diplomatic meeting. This time, he brought a larger delegation, including several scientists who were eager to study Earth's Beast program up close. Nobody expected the meeting to turn into a rescue operation. The trouble started when one of the alien ship's gravity generators malfunctioned during docking. The diplomatic shuttle lurched sideways, crashing into the station's outer docking ring. Emergency alarms blared throughout the station as the damaged section began losing pressure. Commander Stone rushed to the scene with his security team. Max, now almost fully grown, followed close behind, having refused to stay in Stone's quarters during emergencies ever since he was a puppy. "Admiral Gray's team is trapped in the shuttle," a technician reported. "The docking corridor is buckled, and their artificial gravity is going crazy. Anyone who enters risks being crushed." Stone looked at the damaged corridor through the emergency windows. Inside, he could see the alien delegation pressed against the far wall by fluctuating gravity fields. Their skin had turned pure white with fear. Before anyone could stop him, Max bounded past the security line and squeezed through a gap in the damaged corridor wall. "Max, no," Stone shouted, but it was too late. The German Shepherd navigated the shifting gravity fields with natural agility, jumping and crawling as the forces around him changed. The aliens watched in terror as what they thought was a war beast approached them. Admiral Gray's translator crackled with static. "The Beast Unit. It comes for us in our moment of weakness." But Max didn't attack. Instead, he grabbed the sleeve of the nearest alien and began pulling gently but firmly toward the exit. When the alien resisted, Max let go and barked, then grabbed the sleeve again. "I believe," the alien scientist said in wonder. "It's trying to help us escape." One by one, Max guided the aliens through the safest path in the corridor, choosing routes where the gravity fluctuations were weakest. When one of the younger aliens slipped, Max quickly moved under them, supporting their weight until they could stand again. From the safety of the observation window, Stone and his team watched in amazement as his dog, the same one who still chased his own tail and got excited about squeaky toys, professionally rescued the entire alien delegation. The moment the last alien was safe, the corridor finally collapsed behind them. Max immediately began checking each alien, sniffing them to make sure they were unharmed, then sat down and wagged his tail as if to say his job was done. Admiral Gray stared at Max for a long moment, his skin shifting through colors Stone had never seen before. "I don't understand," the alien leader said finally. "Our data suggested these were war beasts trained for combat. But he risked his life to save us." Stone knelt down beside Max, who was now enjoying a well-deserved ear scratch. "I think it's time we explain something to you, Admiral. Dogs aren't weapons. They're our companions, our friends. We didn't turn them into warriors. We formed a bond with them thousands of years ago based on trust and love. Love, The alien scientist stepped forward, fascinated. You mean these aren't engineered combat units? No. Stone smiled as Max rolled over for a belly rub, making the aliens jump slightly. Their family. Max here didn't save you because he was ordered to. He did it because that's what dogs do. They help people. It's in their nature. Admiral Gray watched as his scientists cautiously approached Max, their fear giving way to curiosity. All this time, we thought you had created the ultimate weapons, but instead, Stone finished, we made the ultimate friends. Dogs have been helping and protecting humans for thousands of years, not because we force them to, but because they choose to. The alien leader's skin shifted to a new color, one that his subordinates later said they had never seen before. Perhaps, he said slowly, we have much to learn from Earth after all. Max just wagged his tail and nudged the nearest alien with his nose, wondering if they might have any treats. 1 month after the rescue incident, Earth Defense Station Alpha looked very different. Highborn engineers worked alongside humans, installing new technology and sharing knowledge. But the biggest change was the sight of aliens walking dogs through the station's corridors. Commander Stone stood at his usual spot by the observation window, watching Earth spin below. Max sat beside him, now fully grown, but still the same playful soul who had started this whole adventure. On Stone's desk sat a formal document, the Earth-Highborn Friendship Treaty. I still can't believe it all worked out this way, General Wilson said, joining him at the window. We went from the brink of invasion to a full alliance, all because they misunderstood dogs. Stone nodded, smiling as he watched Admiral Gray walk past the office with his own new companion, a small rescue puppy from Earth's local shelter. The alien leader's skin now regularly showed colors of contentment that his species rarely displayed. How is the Admiral adapting to dog ownership? The General asked. Better than anyone expected, Stone replied, though he still calls it his personal beast unit in official reports. Old habits die hard, I guess. Through the office window, they could see Admiral Gray attempting to teach his puppy to sit. The small mixed-breed dog was more interested in chasing its tail, making the mighty alien leader's skin ripple with what humans now recognized as amusement. Commander Stone, his computer buzzed. The first group of highborn families is ready to begin the pet adoption program. They're requesting your supervision. At the shelter, nervous alien families waited in line, each hoping to find their own companion. The shelter staff had spent weeks teaching them about proper pet care, though some concepts were still hard for the aliens to grasp. You mean we don't need to file combat readiness reports? One alien parent asked, holding a sleeping kitten. No combat reports, Stone assured them. Just love them and care for them. That's all they need. The scene that followed would have been unimaginable just months ago. Alien children cautiously petting puppies, their skin changing to new colors of joy. Adult highborn learning how to hold leashes and give treats. Even the most serious alien scientists couldn't help but smile when a playful dog would lift their face. I think I understand now, Admiral Gray said, watching his puppy play with Max. We thought humans were warriors who had mastered fearsome beasts, but that wasn't it at all. You didn't conquer these creatures. You befriended them. You didn't break their spirit. You helped it grow. Stone watched as a young alien child squealed with delight when a golden retriever puppy gave them their first kiss. That's humanity's real strength, Admiral. Not our technology or our weapons, but our ability to form bonds with others, even across species. Indeed, the alien leader agreed, his skin showing deep blues of wisdom. We came to Earth expecting to find primitive beings to conquer. Instead, we found teachers who could show us a better way. The adoption day was a complete success. Each alien family left with a new friend, and the shelter staff had to start a waiting list for the next event. News spread quickly through the highborn empire about Earth's friendship technology, as some aliens called it. 6 months later, the first intergalactic pet show was held on the station. Dogs, cats, and even some alien pets competed in events that celebrated the bond between species. Admiral Gray's puppy won Most Improved in the basic training category, causing the alien leader's skin to glow with pride. Max, now a certified therapy dog, spent his days helping new alien visitors overcome their fear of Earth's beasts. He seemed to understand his role perfectly, approaching nervous aliens gently and winning them over with his calm demeanor and wagging tail. "You know," Stone said to Max as they watched another successful adoption, "you didn't just help save Earth. You helped create something entirely new, a friendship between species that will span the stars." Max just wagged his tail and nudged Stone's hand for pets. To him, it was simple. Everyone, whether they had 2 legs or 6, blue skin or pink, could use a good friend. And somewhere in the vast reaches of space, other alien races heard the story of how Earth's fearsome beasts turned out to be their greatest teachers in the art of friendship, love, and understanding.